The Life of Mother Teresa, an English Learning Story Part 1. Chapter 1. A small girl with a big heart. Many years ago, in a small city called Skopje, there lived a young girl named Agnes. This city is now part of North Macedonia, but at that time, it was part of a different empire. Agnes was born into a loving family. Her father was a businessman, and her mother was a kind and generous woman. From a young age, Agnes learned something very important: always help others, especially the poor. Her mother often said, "My child, never eat a single mouthful unless you are sharing it with others." This sentence stayed in Agnes's heart forever. English learning tip: generous equals willing to give and help others. Mouthful equals a small amount of food taken into the mouth. Chapter 2. A life-changing loss. When Agnes was just 8 years old, something very sad happened. Her father died suddenly. The family was shocked and heartbroken. Life became difficult. There was less money, and Agnes's mother had to work very hard to take care of the family. But even during hard times, her mother continued to help poor people. Agnes watched her carefully. She learned, helping others is important even when life is difficult. Practice. Fill in the blank. Agnes felt very when her father died. Her mother continued to help people. Answers: sad, poor. Chapter 3. A call from the heart. As Agnes grew older, she became very interested in religion. She loved going to church and praying. One day, she heard stories about missionaries working in India. These missionaries helped poor people, taught children, and cared for the sick. Agnes felt something deep inside her heart. It was a calling. A calling means a strong feeling that tells you what you should do in life. She decided, "I want to help people. I want to serve God." At the age of 18, she made a big decision. She left her home and joined a group called the Sisters of Loreto. English learning tip: calling equals a strong inner feeling to do something. Serve equals to help or work for others. Chapter 4. A new name, a new life. When Agnes became a nun, she chose a new name. Teresa was inspired by a saint who loved helping others. Now she was known as Sister Teresa. She traveled far away from her home to India. It was a long journey, and she knew she might never see her family again. But she was not afraid. She believed, "This is my purpose." When she arrived in India, she began teaching at a school in the city of Kolkata. She taught English to young girls. Her students loved her because she was kind, patient, and gentle. Practice. Choose the correct answer. Teresa went to India to become rich. B. Help and teach. C. Travel. She became a doctor. B. A teacher. C. A singer. Answers: B. Chapter 5. Seeing the real world. Although Sister Teresa lived in a school, she could see something very different outside the walls. There was extreme poverty. People were hungry. People were sick. Some people were dying on the streets. This made her very sad. She started asking herself, "How can I ignore this suffering?" One day, while traveling on a train, she felt a very strong calling again. This time, it was clearer than ever. Leave the school. Help the poorest of the poor. This moment changed her life forever. English learning tip: poverty equals the state of being very poor. Suffering equals pain or hardship. Chapter 6. A brave decision. Leaving the convent was not easy. It meant no comfort, no regular income, no security, but Teresa was determined. She left her teaching job and stepped into the streets of Kolkata. She wore a simple white sari with blue borders. This became her identity. Now, she was no longer just a teacher. She was a servant of the poor. She started by teaching poor children in the streets. She had no classroom, no books, no blackboard, but she had something powerful: compassion. Chapter 7. Small actions, big impact. At first, Teresa worked alone. She cleaned wounds. She gave food. She comforted dying people. Some people did not understand her, some even criticized her. But she continued her work, slowly. Others began to notice. Young women joined her mission. Together, they formed a group called Missionaries of Caritas organization, later became famous all over the world. English learning tip: compassion equals deep kindness and care for others. Mission equals a special purpose or duty. Chapter 8. Love in Action. Mother Teresa believed something very simple. Not all of us can do great things, but we can do small things with great love. She showed love through actions. Feeding the hungry, caring for the sick, helping the homeless, opened homes for people who had no place to go. One of her most famous homes was for people who were dying. She wanted them to feel loved and respected even in their final moments. Chapter 9. Recognition around the world. As her work grew, people from all over the world started noticing her. She received many awards. The most famous one was the Nobel Peace Prize. She received it in 1979. But she said, "This award is not for me. It is for the poor." She used the prize money to help more people. Chapter 10. A legacy of love. Mother Teresa continued her work for many years, even when she became old and weak. She did not stop. Her mission spread to many countries. After her death, she was remembered as a symbol of love and kindness. Today, people still learn from her life. Final English learning section. Vocabulary recap: generous, calling, poverty, compassion, mission. The life of Mother Teresa, an English learning story. Part 2. Chapter 11. Learning to live with the poor. When Mother Teresa stepped out of the convent and into the streets of Kolkata, her life completely changed. She was no longer surrounded by teachers, students, and safety. Now, she lived among the poor. She had very little money. Sometimes she did not know where her next meal would come from. But she did not complain. Instead, she said, "If I ever become rich, I will lose my connection with the poor." She chose a life of simplicity. She ate simple food. She wore simple clothes. She lived in a small place. English learning tip: simplicity equals living in a simple way. Without luxury, surrounded equals being all around something. Chapter 12. The first school. Mother Teresa wanted to educate children who lived on the streets, but she had a problem. She had no school building. So what did she do? She started a school in the open air. She used the ground as her classroom. She wrote letters in the dust. She used her voice as her only teaching tool. At first, only a few children came. They were shy, dirty, and afraid, but slowly more children joined. They began to smile. They began to learn, and most importantly, they began to hope, practice, fill in the blanks. Mother Teresa started a school in the children began to feel answers. Open air. Hope. Chapter 13. Caring for the sick. One day, Mother Teresa saw a man lying on the street. He was very sick. People were walking past him. No one stopped. She went to him. She cleaned his wounds. She gave him water. She held his hand. That man looked at her and smiled before he died. This moment deeply touched her heart. She realized people are not only hungry for food, they are hungry for love. After that, she decided to help sick and dying people. She opened a home for them, a place where they could rest, a place where they could feel human again. Chapter 14. A home for the dying. Mother Teresa opened a special home called Nirmal Hriday, Pure Heart. It was a place for people who were dying on the streets. Many of them had no family. Many had been rejected by society. But inside this home, everything was different. They were clean, fed, loved. Mother Teresa believed every person deserves to die with dignity. English learning tip: dignity equals being treated with respect. Rejected equals not accepted. Chapter 15. More helpers join at first. Mother Teresa worked alone, but her kindness inspired others. Young women came to join her mission. They wanted to live like her. They wanted to help the poor. Together, they became the missionaries of charity. This organization grew quickly. Soon, they were helping people not only in India, but also in other countries. Practice. Choose the correct answer. People joined Mother Teresa because A. She was famous, B. She inspired them, C. She was rich. Answer B. Chapter 16. Challenges and criticism. Everyone supported her work. Some people criticized her. They said, "Why help dying people? Why not focus only on education?" But Mother Teresa did not argue. She simply continued her work. She believed, do small things with great love. She did not try to change the whole world at once. She changed one life at a time. Chapter 17. Visiting the world. As her work became known, Mother Teresa traveled to many places. She visited poor communities in different countries. She spoke to leaders and ordinary people. She asked them to care for the poor. Her message was simple: love and kindness can change the world. She opened homes in many countries. Her mission became global. Chapter 18. Winning hearts. People from all religions respected Mother Teresa. She helped Hindus, Muslims, Christians, people with no religion. She did not ask, "Who are you?" She asked, "Do you need help?" This made her special. She saw every human being as equal. Chapter 19. The power of kind words. Mother Teresa believed that words are powerful. She often said, kind words can be short and easy to speak, but their echoes are truly endless. She taught her followers, speak gently, act kindly, help quietly. English learning tip: echoes equals sounds that repeat or continue gently equals softly and kindly. Chapter 20. A life of purpose. Mother Teresa's life was not easy. She faced poverty, illness, criticism, but she never gave up. Why? Because she had a purpose to serve the poorest of the poor. Her story teaches us something important. You do not need to be rich or powerful to make a difference. You only need a kind heart. The Life of Mother Teresa, an English Learning Story Part 3. Emotional Stories of the Lives She Touched. Chapter 21. The Man on the Street. On evening in Kolkata, Mother Teresa was walking with one of her sisters. The streets were crowded. People were busy. The noise was loud. But in the middle of that busy street, she noticed something: a man. He was lying on the ground, weak and almost unconscious. People walked past him. No one stopped. Mother Teresa immediately went to him. She gently touched his face and said, "I am here. You are not alone." The man slowly opened his eyes. There was pain in them, but also surprise. No one had spoken to him kindly in a long time. She and her sisters carried him to their home. They cleaned his wounds. They gave him fresh clothes. They fed him warm food. Before he died, he whispered, "I lived like an animal, but I will die like an angel." Mother Teresa held his hand until his last breath. English learning tip: unconscious equals not awake or aware. Whispered equals spoke very softly. Chapter 22. The Hungry Child. One day, a little boy came to Mother Teresa. He looked very weak. His clothes were dirty, and his eyes were tired. He said, I am hungry. Mother Teresa quickly gave him a plate of rice. The boy took the plate. But he did something unexpected. He ran away. Mother Teresa was surprised. After some time, the boy returned. The plate was half empty. She asked, "Where did you go?" The boy replied, "I have a sister. She is also hungry." Mother Teresa smiled. Even in hunger, the boy chose to share. This touched her heart deeply. She said, "This child understands love better than many adults." Practice. Fill in the blanks. The boy shared his food with his Mother Teresa, felt very by his action. Answers. Sister. Touched. Chapter 23. The woman with no name night. Mother Teresa found a woman lying near a train. She was very sick. Her body was covered with dirt and wounds. No one knew her name. No one cared about her. Mother Teresa picked her up and took her to the home. She cleaned her carefully. She spoke gently to her for the first time in many days. The woman smiled. Before she died, she said, "Thank you for loving me." That was all. Just a few words. But for Mother Teresa, it meant everything. She believed every person deserves love even if the world forgets them. English learning tip. Drain equals a place where dirty water flows carefully equals with attention and kindness. Chapter 24. The angry man at everyone accepted help easily. One day, a man shouted at Mother Teresa. He said, "Why are you helping me? Go away." He was angry. He did not trust anyone. But Mother Teresa did not leave. She stood quietly. She listened. She understood that his anger came from pain. After some time, she said softly, "I am here because I care." The man began to cry. No one had shown him kindness in years. Slowly, his anger disappeared. This taught an important lesson. Sometimes, anger is just hidden sadness. Chapter 25. The child who learned to smile. In one of her homes, there was a small girl. She never spoke. She never smiled. She had been alone for a long time. Mother Teresa spent time with her every day. She held her hand. She told her stories. She smiled at her. Days passed. Then one day the little girl smiled. It was a small smile, but it was powerful. Mother Teresa said, "This is a miracle of love." Practice. Choose the correct answer. The girl did not smile because A. She was happy. B. She felt lonely. C. She was angry. Answer B. Chapter 26. A lesson from a rich man. On day, Mother Teresa visited a rich man. She asked him to help the poor. The man gave her money, but he did it without respect. He threw the money on the table. Mother Teresa picked it up calmly. She said, "This is for the poor. Now, give something for me." The man was confused. He asked, "What do you want?" She replied, "Give me a smile." The man paused and then smiled. That moment changed him. He later became one of her supporters. English learning tip. Supporter equals someone who helps or believes in something. Chapter 27. Love beyond religion. Mother Teresa helped people from all backgrounds. One day, a Hindu man was dying. He was afraid. Mother Teresa stayed with him. She prayed in her own way, but she respected his beliefs. She made him feel peaceful. This showed something important. Love has no religion. Chapter 28. The power of small acts. Mother Teresa often said, "We cannot do great things, only small things with great love." She believed a smile matters, a kind word matters, a helping hand matters. 7. The smallest act can change someone's life. Chapter 29. The volunteer's story. A young woman once joined Mother Teresa as a volunteer. On her first day, she felt uncomfortable. The work was difficult. The smell, the sickness, the pain, it was overwhelming. She said, "I cannot do this." Mother Teresa smiled and said, "Do it with love, or do not do it at all." The young woman stayed. Days turned into weeks. Weeks turned into months. She changed. She became stronger, more compassionate. She later said, "I came to help others, but they changed me." Chapter 30. A world changed by love. Through these small, emotional moments, Mother Teresa changed thousands of lives, not with power, not with money, but with love. Her work reminds us every human being matters, every act of kindness counts. Love is the greatest force in the world. English learning section. Vocabulary: unconscious whisper, supporter, compassion, volunteer. The life of Mother Teresa, an English learning story, part 4. Awards, global impact and challenges. Chapter 31. A mission that reached the world. As the work of Mother Teresa continued in Kolkata, something remarkable began to happen. People from around the world started noticing her mission. What began as a small effort on the streets slowly grew into a global movement. The missionaries of charity opened centers in many countries. In Asia, in Africa, in Europe, in the Americas. They helped the hungry, the sick, the homeless, orphans. Mother Teresa's simple message spread everywhere. Love others without expecting anything in return. English learning tip: global equals relating to the whole world. Movement equals a group effort to achieve a goal. Chapter 32. Recognition begins at first. Mother Teresa did not seek attention. She worked quietly, but her actions were too powerful to be ignored. Governments, organizations, and people began to honor her work. She received many awards for her service to humanity. One of the earliest major recognitions was from the government of India. She received the Padma Shri Award in 1962. This award is given to people who do great service for the nation, but when she received it, she said, "I accept this for the poor." Chapter 33. The Nobel Peace Prize in 1979. Mother Teresa received one of the highest honors in the world, the Nobel Peace Prize. People around the world celebrated her, but she remained humble. At the ceremony, she made a special request. She asked to cancel the official dinner. Why? Because the money for the dinner could feed many poor people. This simple act showed her true character. She said, "If you want peace, go home and love your family." Practice. Fill in the blanks. Mother Teresa received the Nobel Peace Prize in. She asked to cancel the dinner to help the answers. 1979. Poor. Chapter 34. Fame without pride. After receiving international awards, Mother Teresa became famous. She met world leaders, presidents, and important figures, but she never changed her lifestyle. She still wore the same simple sari, lived simply, worked with the poor. She once said, "I am just a small pencil in the hand of God." This sentence shows her humility. English learning tip: humility equals being humble, not proud. Fame equals being known by many people. Chapter 35. Facing criticism. Even though many people admired her, not everyone agreed with her work. Some critics said her methods are too simple. She should focus more on modern medicine. Others questioned how her organization was run. These criticisms were sometimes strong and public. But Mother Teresa did not argue. She stayed calm. She continued her work. She believed, "God has not called me to be successful, but to be faithful." Chapter 36. health challenges as she grew older. Mother Teresa began to face health problems. She suffered from heart issues, weakness, fatigue. Despite her illness, she continued working. She traveled. She met people. She encouraged her sisters. Even when she was physically weak, her spirit remained strong. Chapter 37. Leadership and Responsibility. Teresa was not only kind, she was also a strong leader. She guided thousands of sisters in the missionaries of charity. She taught them discipline, compassion, dedication. She made sure the mission stayed focused on helping the poorest. As the organization grew, managing it became more difficult, but she handled the responsibility with care. Practice. Choose the correct answer. Mother Teresa was only a helper. B. Only a leader. C. Both a leader and helper. Answer C. Chapter 38. Expanding the mission under her leadership. The missionaries of charity expanded rapidly. They opened homes for children, centers for people with diseases, shelters for the homeless. They even worked in places affected by war and disaster. Mother Teresa believed, where there is suffering, we must go. Chapter 39. A voice for the voiceless. Mother Teresa spoke for people who had no voice. She talked about poverty, hunger, human dignity. She reminded the world that every life is valuable, even the smallest, weakest person deserves respect. Her voice reached global platforms and people listened. English learning tip. Dignity equals respect and value of a person. Voiceless equals people who are not heard. Chapter 40. A lasting impact. Mother Teresa's work created a lasting impact on the world. Her mission continues even today. Thousands of sisters still serve in many countries. Her life teaches us, you do not need power to change the world. The Life of Mother Teresa, an English learning story. Part 5. Final part. Legacy, final days, and life lessons. Chapter 41. The final years. In her later years, Mother Teresa became physically weak. But her mission never stopped. She continued to live in Kolkata, the same place where she had started her work among the poor. Even though her body was tired, her heart remained strong. She still prayed daily, guided her sisters, visited the sick when possible. People from around the world came to meet her. She welcomed them with a gentle smile and simple words. Do small things with great love. English learning tip. Legacy equals what a person leaves behind after death. Weak equals not strong physically. Chapter 42. A life of quiet strength. Mother Teresa never lived for comfort or fame. She lived for service, even when she was ill. She refused to stop helping others completely. She often said, I am not called to be successful. I am called to be faithful. This means she did not focus on results. She focused on doing good works in Sorella. Her quiet strength inspired millions. Chapter 43. Final days on Earth. In 1997, Mother Teresa's health became very serious. She was admitted to hospital. Her condition slowly worsened. On September 5, 1997, she passed away peacefully. The world was deeply saddened. People from many countries mourned her death. She was remembered as a saint of the poor, a symbol of love, a voice for the forgotten. English learning tip. Mourned equals felt sadness after someone's death. Peacefully equals without pain or struggle. Chapter 44. A global good be after her death. Tributes came from all over the world. Leaders, citizens, and organizations honored her life. Funeral services were held with great respect. People from different religions came together to say goodbye. This showed something powerful. Love can unite the world. Chapter 45. Becoming a saint years after her death. The Catholic Church recognized her life of service. She was officially declared a saint. This process is called canonization. She became known as Saint Teresa of Calcutta. This honor was given because of her lifelong dedication to the poor, miracles attributed to her global impact. English learning tip. Saint equals a person officially recognized for holy life. Canonization equals process of becoming a saint. Chapter 46. The mission continues even after her death. Her work did not stop. The missionaries of charity continue her mission in many countries. They still feed the hungry, care for the sick, help the homeless, support orphan children. Her spirit lives through their actions. Chapter 47. What we learn from her life. Mother Teresa's life teaches us simple but powerful lessons. 1. Love is action. Love is not just a feeling. It is what you do. 2. Small acts matter. Even small kindness can change a life. 3. Every human is important. No one should be ignored or forgotten. 4. Service brings meaning. Helping others gives life purpose. 5. Simplicity is strength. You do not need wealth to make a difference. Chapter 48. English learning summary. Key vocabulary from the story. Legacy, humility, canonization, compassion, dedication. Final practice questions. Where did Mother Teresa spend her final years? What does canonization mean? What is the main lesson from her life? Final message. Life of Mother Teresa is a powerful example of how one person can change the world without wealth, power, or fame. She proved that kindness is stronger than anger. Love is stronger than hatred. Small actions can create big change. Her life continues to inspire millions of people across the world. The end.